Any chance you know a teleporter?
No, but I can cause a distraction.
Jordan, what are you gonna do?
Don't get caught. Hey! You're the girl who tortured Emma, right?
No. I just gave her a platform.
Look at this! Jordan Lee attacking her own kind. Say goodbye to number 5, Jordan.
Can't we make it airborne?
Why?
So it's more contagious.
Ever since the last episode, it feels like the writers are trying to lay the groundwork for another spinoff called COVID V, and I assure you, no one is here for it.
So the episode made a mistake because you made up some bullshit? That's dumb.
If an airborne virus gets into the super-able population, it could spread like wildfire.
The soups going extinct doesn't so much solve Shetty's problem as much as it ensures that she will then have to deal with a bunch of Batmen.
Discount Jeremy makes a pop culture ref.
We're coming to you live today.
And I'm coming to you live with this in for news position.
It's almost like the boys' universe is satirical.
Just gonna twist it like they twist everything else.
Extolling Vought's prowess at manipulating the proverbial nipple of truth.
Ha ha ha. So funny. He said nipple.
But maybe you didn't do that, because now I'm destroying the evidence.
Coming up with solutions that only work via time inversion. Thanks again, Christopher.
Discount Jeremy makes a pop culture.
Her family was on the plane.
Tying Shetty's backstory into the plane Homelander sank is just another great example of how Gen V complements the boys, but it's also a great example of this show relying too much on the boys instead of creating its own narrative identity.
Discount Jeremy sends something he likes cliche.
Stealing one of the more questionable plot points of Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice.
Discount Jeremy makes a pop.
You'll want longer.
Title of my sex tape?
That was actually a decent sex tape joke.
You don't want to go down that path.
She's telling you she created a virus to kill all the soups on the planet. Not only do I think she's already gone down that path, I think she's paved it and started installing streetlights.
She hasn't gone down the path yet because she hasn't used the virus yet, with the exception of test subjects. In this context, going down the path refers to unleashing the virus on the general population of soups.
Episode undersells the darkness of this scene and pretty much any scene with Rufus once you realize that with a reputation like his, the only imaginable way people are hanging out with him is that he is just constantly messing with their heads so they can't remember how much of a dirtbag he is.
So maybe he is messing with their heads, or maybe he hangs out with people who don't care about what he's done. As depressing as it is, there are a lot of Rufus types out there.
Also, he's way too happy and pain-free after what we saw happen to his dick. Did it grow back? Did he steal one from someone else?
Asking questions that are completely irrelevant.
Strange how unprepared this society is for all the problems that come with soups. Polarity is having a seizure, and an apparent side effect is him uncontrollably using his powers. Now, maybe this is the first time they're dealing with something like this, even though I highly doubt it. But they sent this regular-looking ambulance and paramedic crew, which is a Vought company, by the way, to deal with this soup-based problem. I guess I'm saying that out of necessity, they could and should be better equipped to deal with these kinds of unknowns than paramedics in the real world.
In the previous episode, I explained how creating a powerful thing does not automatically mean you also create a safeguard for it. I used the example of nuclear weapons and energy being invented without any cure for radiation poisoning. That still applies to this situation. Also, he said that he doubts this is the first time they're dealing with something like this, but he's not basing that on anything. He's just making a random assumption. In fact, Vought being unprepared for this scenario is actually evidence that they haven't dealt with this before.
We have no idea who this is or why they saw a fight that had nothing to do with them and decided it needed lasers.
Don't worry, girl. I got your back.
Hide out in the green room until it all blows over.
Employing the Shaun of the Dead doctrine.
Discount Jeremy makes a...
Your blood, there's compound V in it.
Welcome back to America's favorite game show, Do I Buy That? Where something unbelievable plays on the screen, and I tell you if I buy that. So the ultimate question today is, can Marie sense compound V in the blood of others?
And I'm gonna stop you right there, because the episode just showed us that she can, so questioning it is really stupid.
Pass, Marie. You have to choose. You can't have both.
Not using the obvious cake metaphor because we live in a time when one can no longer trust what is and isn't cake.
Cringeworthy joke is worthy of cringe.
Oh Polarity's running at 14 RPMs.
Pointless throwaway sin is pointless and thrown away like civil rights at the Republican National Convention.
You
all leave a path of destruction behind you.
Have you ever considered that might be because of the broken psychological conditions created by institutions, like the one you're currently the head of?
This is an example of a character being flawed, which is not a mistake of the episode. Shetty is absolutely missing the real issue here, but that's exactly why she's a villain.
Don't help.
One of the problems here with Kate's powers is that she's so general with her speech that her pushes become subjective. Like the word help, in this case, could be interpreted very differently. If by chance Marie was able to believe that Shetty surviving to stand trial for her crimes was a worse punishment than death, then she possibly could have worked around Kate's command and saved her life because her intention was to harm Shetty and not help her.
Your sin here relies on the assumption that the victim of Kate's power has any say over the interpretation of Kate's command. If Kate's intention is the only thing that matters, then there's no such thing as interpretation.
You and I, we have the same goals, right?
So you're really going to ask this during the shadowy parking garage meetup, Dr. Cardosa, so you can die as one of those shining examples of an intellectual person with absolutely no street smarts?
And why is that a bad thing? I mean, you're right about him having no street smarts, but why is that a mistake of the episode? You can't just say shit without explaining.
I don't feel so good.
You're all right.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know. Hey. I don't want to go. I don't want to go, sir. Please. Please, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.